What's up, HASfit Tribe? It's your personal trainer, Coach Kozak.
And I'm Claudia, and this is a full body stretch.
You can follow along with me for the standard move.
And you can follow me for some easier modifications.
There's no equipment required for today's routine.
But if you are following along with me, be sure to have a chair and either a band or a towel on hand.
If you're ready to go, let's get started. Let's begin with a move for our lower bodies. We're gonna get into an isometric deep squat hold.
And I'm going to be using my chair for this movement.
Just for extra balance, stability, whatever reason you may have. Feet are shoulder width apart, toes are pointed out just a little bit. And now I'm gonna sit back, weight in my hips, and I'm gonna go down as deep as I can. And so for you, that depth is gonna be unique to your body, flexibility, fitness level, all of those items. So you'll notice Claudia's able to help sustain her balance using that chair, where I'm out here on my own. You decide what's appropriate for you. But I want you to make sure that you have even distribution between your heel and your toe. So driving through that midfoot, you're not falling back on your heels or coming forward onto your toes. Forcing and fighting to maintain good, proper posture, a nice straight back. Don't lean over, and just forcing yourself into that deep squat. And the longer this progresses, you probably can go down a little deeper, Not forgetting to breathe here. I know it can get uncomfortable, but we are forcing the body to change and to improve its mobility. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come up nice and slow. Very good.
Okay, let's get rid of this chair.
You can shake those legs loose a little bit here, taking a couple deep breaths. All right, next we're gonna move into a wrist curl glide. So this one's for our forearms, biceps, wrists. Let's start by taking our hands and extending at our arms. Fingers are coming up. Now, as we curl at our biceps, we're also gonna curl our wrists and bring those fingers in towards our shoulders. Reverse it so they open back up. Full extension of the arm, fingers all the way back, and repeat.
And we don't want to bring our elbows up, correct? We want to leave them.
Correct, because then that's not stretching your wrists anymore, right?
That's just wanted to double check.
Yeah, no, that's a good question to ask. Thank you, Claudia. Going back and forth through this sequence, nice and controlled. You know, our day-to-day life, in modern lifestyles take such a big toll on our wrists and hands, fingers, forearm flexors, all the above. This was just a great one to restore them. Breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, next up, we are gonna focus on our shoulders, back, and chest. We're gonna do a bent over T to start. So we're gonna bend over on a 45-degree angle, weights in our hips, knees are bent, back is straight. Now I'm gonna take my straight arms and bring my pinkies up to the sky until I'm in a T formation, back down. Head stays in line with your spine. It's a dynamic stretch, so yes, we are moving throughout. Nice and controlled. This isn't a workout, this is a stretch.
And we just want to bring our arms parallel.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, you don't want to go past parallel. Don't try to hyperextend them up. But feel that stretch in your chest and shoulders, really opening them up. A great one to restore that posture. Focusing on some deliberate breathing here. And relax. All right, shake it out. All right, we're gonna get back into that same position next for a bent over Y. So last one, we're making a T formation with our arms. Now we're gonna make a Y formation. Bending back over. Now I want your thumbs up in the air, or up, pointed up, I should say. And then we're gonna bring those arms up into a Y formation. Arms are straight and back down. Again, very similar to the last one, but just focusing on different muscle groups. This one specifically is also really targeting the rotator cuffs. Breathing throughout. In all of these dynamic stretches, you should find that like your first and second repetitions are going to be tighter than your last couple. Just improving that mobility as we move through the routine. Inhale on the way down, exhale as we bring those arms up. Very good. Nice and controlled, deliberate movements for 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, relax, stand up. We have one more in that bent over position. This one's gonna be called a bent over arm hauler. So let's get back into that position, 45-degree angle. I want you to extend and push straight out. Thumbs are down, and we're gonna swim those arms out. And now push straight out. Thumbs down, swim those arms. There we go. We're taking our upper body and those shoulders through their full range of motion here, really testing that range of motion. Something that, in our normal life, they might not happen naturally. You want to make sure that we're allowing those shoulders to work in their full range of motion.
I want to keep them nice and healthy.
That's it. No surprise injuries, or if you had injuries in the past, proper mobility is always going to be a key to restoring function. Head stays in line with that spine. Big swims for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stand up and relax. Nice big deep breath. Next, we're going to get a nice total body move here. This is called a hamstring sweep. So for this one, we're going to bring our right straight leg, come onto our heel. Now I'm going to bring my sweeping arms are going to come up and over. And as they do, I'm going to hinge at my hips, feeling a stretch in my hamstrings and calves. Stand up. And I want you to switch feet now, right to left, and then back down. Stretch in the opposite side hamstring. Again, nice and controlled every time. We're switching that lead leg. This one's going to stretch your calves, hamstrings, glutes, lower back, shoulders, chest, back. A lot of muscle groups getting activated on this one. Really one of my favorite bang for buck movements.
Not a race, just make sure you're keeping nice, proper balance.
That's it.
Especially when you're switching legs, it's easy to feel kind of wobbly.
On all these moves, we want you to make it work for you and your body. If we're going far down and you're looking at us and you're like, oh, I can't reach that far, that's okay.
You might be right here.
Yeah, make it work for you. Or maybe you're way more flexible than us. Good on you. You do what feels good for your body. We encourage you to adjust it for your needs throughout. Consistent breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. All right, next up, we're going to focus on our triceps. That's the muscle here in the back of our arm. We're going to take your right arm, bring it up, and grab onto that right trap. That's this big muscle by your neck. Left arm comes up, left hand. We're going to gently pull on that elbow, pull it down and in towards the center line of the body. Feeling a stretch here, the back of the arm, and actually even a little through your lat. That's that back muscle there on the side. And breathe. We had a tough workout earlier today, so this feels good for us. In 3, 2, 1, relax. Excellent. All right, opposite side, same move. Got to hit both sides, of course, and pulling gently on that tricep.
Something about this move just takes me back to grade school. PE.
You all did this one in PE?
We did. A lot.
Your PE must have been more advanced than mine, because I don't know if we were doing any proper stretching. I think we just went at it and threw dodgeballs at one another. Big deep breaths for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, and shake it out. So as you probably have noticed, we do have mats here, and that's because we're going to move to the floor. A mat is optional for you, really depending on what surface you're stretching on. But this floor is pretty hard, so we opted for some mats today.
Thank you.
We're going to lie down onto our backs into a lying overhead shoulder extension with chin tuck. That's a mouthful. Let me guide you through it here. So plant those feet firmly on the floor. Next thing I want you to do is we're going to get into that chin tuck position. So instead of having your head back and arch, we're going to actually drive your chin through the floor. So you're almost like you're trying to put your flat head on the floor. Now that you're in that ready position, I also want you to glue your lower back to the floor. All right, now that we're in this very awkward position, when you take your straight arms, we're going to perform an overhead shoulder extension as far overhead as you can while maintaining contact with the floor. And then back up. Going through that full range of motion. Palms are in a semi-supinated position. That means palms are facing inward. Thumbs are towards the floor at the end of the move. And if you can't quite get your shoulders or arms all the way, that's all right. Do the best you can. But again, try your best to maintain that chin tuck position so your head isn't arched back, but instead you're driving your chin straight down. This one is working, you guessed it, our neck, stretching our neck, but also our shoulders, our lats, our triceps, all improving their mobility on this one. Nice and controlled moves. And you may find that one side's a little looser or a little tighter than the other. Nothing to be alarmed about. That's why we're here working on it. And don't be alarmed if you hear a snap, crackle, or a pop along the way. That's totally natural, as long as there's no pain associated with that popping noise. Nothing to be alarmed about either.
Depending on the last time you stretched, you might feel quite a few.
That's true. And let's continue for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. All right, we're relaxing here, but we're staying down on our backs. And we're moving into what's called a floor angel. So I want you to take your straight arms, palms are facing up, and we're extending overhead. Now, you'll notice that both of us are able to actually touch our hands to the floor. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't, but that's the goal where we're trying to get to. And now we're going to pull straight down on those elbows. If you can, keep your hands and elbows on the floor as you drag your arms. If you can't, then this is the goal, what you're aiming for. And then extend straight back overhead, maintaining contact or trying to maintain contact with the floor. Again, repeat, pulling back down like there's a string attached to those elbows as they're dragging, and then reach straight overhead. A great overall rotator cuff stretch, and your chest is getting hit on this one as well. Again, don't feel discouraged if you're not able to quite maintain contact or you're nowhere near maintaining contact. Just the act of trying to maintain contact and then performing this movement pattern is going to improve your mobility.
That's right. You just got to keep coming back and doing this movement, and you will progressively get better.
Well, you took the words right out of my mouth, Claudia. Thank you very much. Very wise of you to say, if I don't say so myself. And that's exactly what it's all about. Keep coming back, and you're just going to make, 1-2% improvements every time.
That's
and
right.
Before you know it, boom, you're there. Breathe, big reach, and pull down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Relax. All right. We're going to stay down here on our backs, but now I'd like you to extend both legs out straight down, and you can go ahead and relax your hands on the floor. Next, we're going to do a lying straight leg hamstring stretch. So I want you to take your right straight leg, and we're going to bring it up while gluing your left leg to the floor. So don't allow your left leg and knee to come up. So this is a dynamic stretch. Trying your best to keep that right leg straight throughout the move. Breathing throughout. This one's going to stretch your hamstrings, glutes, calves, and actually even your lower back. Controlled move here. And on this one, as you're performing it, really focus on keeping that lower back glued to the floor. Try not to arch your back.
So you may not have a bunch of range of motion on this one either, and that's okay. Again, just progressively coming back and working through this movement.
And relax, break. Okay, now let's do the same move, opposite side. Got to do left leg now. Very good. And with as with a lot of these dynamic stretches, again, you'll probably find that by the time you get to the end of the set, you feel even more flexible than you did at the beginning, and that's perfect. That's what we want to feel. Like we're improving even within the same stretching routine. This mobility work is so crucial to avoiding injury, recovering from injuries, maintaining our strength, being pain-free. So many factors and benefits that come from staying on our mobility. It might not be the most fun sometimes, I get it, but at the same time, it's so crucial, cannot be ignored. So thank you for showing up and putting in the work today. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Relax. Okay, so at the beginning of the routine, you can stay there, Claudia, I'll grab them. Go ahead. At the beginning of the routine, we mentioned that you should grab a band or a towel. And so we see here we're using bands. You could easily just as easily use a towel for this one. Staying on the floor, we're gonna do a banded calf stretch. So I'm gonna take my band, I'm gonna wrap it around really the ball of my foot. Both legs are gonna be straight here. And I'm going to pull back on that band, keep my leg flat on the floor, feeling that stretch in my calf. Whew, and you can really start to feel that calf stretch on this one.
If you are using a band, be very careful with the ball of your foot so it's not gonna.
That's true. Don't put it too high on your foot.
Don't put it too high on
when
your
you
toe.
Pull and boom, smash. I mean, that's enough to ruin your day right there.
Yeah.
So let's keep good posture on this one as we pull back, static hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Very good. Okay, moving on over to the opposite side. And pull back and hold. Again, good posture as we're getting that static stretch in our calves. Very good. This is not only great for your calf muscles, but also ankle mobility as well. And ankle mobility is crucial for performing a proper squat. A lot of times people have trouble with the squat and they don't realize it's because they don't have the ankle mobility required. So a lot of added benefits here. Big deep breaths as we hold. Let's go 10 more seconds. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Excellent. Okay, we can go ahead and set the band to the side. And we're going to move into a 90-90 hip stretch that can also transition into a pigeon. So either way, we're both going to start in the same position. So let's go ahead and start with our legs open. We're on our heels and our knees are bent at 90-degree angles. Now I want you to rotate to your right side as we get both knees at a 90-degree angle. And now, depending on your hip flexibility, you may need to immediately lean back to take up some of the tension or pressure. Or if you feel good, you can sit up big and tall. And we're just gonna hold here. And if you feel really good and you want some additional stretch, then we're gonna transition this into a pigeon stretch. So I'm gonna take my front foot, pull it in, and I'm going to straighten out my back leg as I come up and over.
And I'm just gonna remain here in this 90-90 stretch.
So giving you a lot of tools to work with here to stretch those hips. And depending on the current state of your hip flexibility, you're gonna have to choose which one is most appropriate for you. We're just holding and breathing here. So not only your hip joint, but also your hamstrings, your glutes, the actual muscles, the soft tissue. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, if you're in my position, go ahead and come back to that center position. If you're in Claudia's, very good. Coming back to that center.
Nice and slow.
Exactly. Now we're going to transition to the other side. So rotating over to get both knees at a 90-degree angle. That's your cue there. And again, if you need to, it starts to lock up or tighten or cramp, you can come back here for a little relief. Or if you feel good, I'm going to grab that front foot, pull it in, and then straighten out the back leg and drop into the pigeon stretch.
And again, you might feel that you cramp on one side and not the other, and that's completely normal. I always tend to be a little crampy on my left side.
Not forgetting to breathe here. And again, all these static stretches, you should be taking it to like 85, 90% of what you're capable of. You want to feel a good stretch, but you shouldn't be feeling real pain. We don't want to overstretch. For 3, 2, 1, 0, and relax. All right, very good. Next up, we're going to move into a kneeling page turner. So let's come into a kneeling position. So I'm going to have my right leg back, left leg up. I'm trying to get some nice 90-degree angles all around, good posture. Now I'm going to take my right hand, I'm going to place it on the outside of my left knee. My left straight arm is going to come up. And now I'm going to open up as far as I can. Kneeling page turner. And I want you to come back to center. Very good. And now let's open it back up. It's a great one for your hip flexors, as well as your thoracic spine, your shoulders, your chest. Again, compound stretch here. A dynamic stretch as we work our way through. If you're feeling tension on the knee that's on the floor, you can get a towel or a cushion, pillow to put under that knee. Yeah, and slowly working our way through it. And let's go one last one on this side. And relax.
Woo, almost lost my balance there.
Well, especially in here in the studio, all the walls are white, so we can kind of lose ourselves in here. Well, let's switch it up, opposite side now. So I'm going to put my left hand on the outside of my right knee. Right arm starts straight ahead. And then open it up. Nice and controlled here. No race, no rush. Breathing in. And exhale. Excellent work, y'all. Feeling looser already. Like I said, we had a tough workout earlier today. And so we needed this. And if you're here, you probably need it as well. I think it's probably a safe assumption. How are you feeling, Claudia?
I'm feeling a little sore.
Hey, at least
She's really sore.
At least she's honest, folks. Well, that's because she's been working hard. Let's go one last one. And relax. Very good. Okay, so from here on our knees, we're going to move into a quadruped position that's hands down on the floor. And we're going to do a lumbar cat-cow. So if you've done a cat-cow before, usually you're doing it with your whole spine, but we're going to focus on your lower back. So first thing I want you to do is take your belly button and try to push your belly button towards the floor. Bringing your glutes up, belly button goes to the floor.
So as if you are trying to point your tailbone in the air.
There, exactly. That's another way to put it. And then reverse it. We bring your tailbone up and your lumbar, lower back comes to the ceiling. So trying your best when you do this, not to move your upper back. Reverse it. Belly button to the floor. Reverse it. Belly button up. Contracting those abs. Like somebody's pulling you from this lower back straight up. Let's go one more time. Belly button to the floor. And then straight up. And relax. Come on up. Nice and slow.
That's a
Very
good one.
Good. All right, so this next we're going to focus on our upper back and our scapular area. So back into that quadruped position. We're gonna do a quadruped scapular stretch. All right, so for this one, we're going to actually take our shoulder blades and almost try to pinch them together as we draw our sternum to the floor, and then reverse it like somebody has a hook in our upper back and they're pulling us up from it, pulling those shoulder blades away from the spine, and then reverse again. Shoulder blades come back and together. So we squeeze those shoulder blades together and reverse again, pushing away, drawing the shoulder blades away from the spine, and reverse one last time. Shoulder blades together, hold, and then shoulder blades away from the spine, drawing yourself straight up, pulling almost the arms away from the body, and relax. Okay, we're gonna stay down in this position for one last one. We're gonna do a quadruped wrist stretch now. So we want one more for our wrists while we're down here. We're already here, why not, right? All right, so from this position, I want you to very gently bring your body weight forward and feel a stretch in your wrists. Now, it doesn't take much. Don't put a lot of body weight behind it. Just a very gentle stretch as you lean forward, keeping the hands flat on the floor. Now come back into a normal 90-degree position. And then again, gently rock forward as you're applying pressure on those wrists, stretching them, forcing them to come back. Gentle pressure, that's the key. And then come back. Very good. Let's go one more time. And hold for 3, 2, 1, and relax. That's it.
All right.
Go ahead and shake those wrists loose, and guess what?
That's a wrap.
You made it. Nice work, y'all. Nice work, Claudia.
Good job. Good job to you.
Good work out there, tribe. Thank you so much for working out with us today. We are so grateful you did so. And did you know that you can get even faster results by following a complete exercise program?
That's right. You can download the HASfit app on your iPhone or Android, or visit HASfit.com.
You can also stop by our store, pick up some HASfit gear, or our diet guide, Eating for Life.
Please also do not forget to like us on your favorite social media channels.
Again, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Coach Kozak.
And I'm Claudia.
And we will see you at your next workout.